Alright, what up y'all? We are here. I hate to say it, we had a lot of album reviews to talk about, but we are just way too wasted. We are way too wasted. It is really late. I mean, we spent a lot of time on that Speaker Brains news, but we have to do this one if we do any others. This is a Patreon request. This is, I believe it was Andrew Morales who said, check out Batushka, you will not be disappointed. And so I did, and I loved it, every minute of it. So I bought everything that I could buy from these guys. And I'll get into this in a second, but right now I have the album he mentioned bringing up. I can't pronounce any of this stuff, but the first Batushka album. Then I also bought the technically third, technically second Batushka album, Hospodi. And then I just got in the mail the deluxe digipack version of their new EP, Pack-On. I don't know how to pronounce that. But here's the thing. What interests me about Batushka is it's a black metal band who sing in Old Church Slavonic, which is some ancient language that is very godly. And they use these monk chants and stuff, but for the most part, it's just good black metal. If you're a black metal fan, it's just good black metal. Lots of cool atmosphere, cool raspy vocals, but really cool chill points. But here's the thing about Batushka is, right now as we are speaking, there are apparently two Batushkas. Because what happened was the man, can't pronounce his name, started the band because he was looking at some old Slavonic hymnal videos, and somebody had commented and said, this old hymnal stuff is blacker than the blackest black metal, or something like that. So he said, well, let me do a black metal band where we sing in Old Church Slavonic. And he did it. He found a vocalist to do it. And then they made the first album. And then some of the guys, they signed to, what record label did they sign to?
You get two record labels right there. You have Metal Blade.
Metal Blade.
Then you have another brand, the first and third album right there, have a completely different record label.
Yeah, so the band wound up signing to Metal Blade without the original creator's knowledge. And then what happened was basically the vocalist in the band kicked the original creator out of the band. And so now we have two Batushkas. And what happened was, the second album, we have Hospodi from the band version of Batushka, while the original creator did his Batushka in the same year, second album. But it's a little expensive if you want a physical copy of that. But I ordered it off of his Bandcamp, and it's pretty good too. Then Batushka just recently released this EP, but this is the band Batushka, not the original creator. Now, I really, really enjoy the shit out of this band. Both sides of the band. I love the first album, and I love the version or the second album that the original creator made, and I do love the Hospodi album and this new EP. Now, the Hospodi album sounds slightly commercial as far as commercial black metal goes. There's more catchy style riffs on there. There's not as much wild atmosphere. that is on this first Batushka album, while the second Batushka album from the original creator sounds similar to the first, but it just doesn't sound as good. And then the EP, the new EP with the just band Batushka, I know it's confusing, sounds closer to the first album and is pretty phenomenal. It's basically a 30-minute EP. This is a very substantial EP, y'all. Now, so I like a lot of black metal, and I do like the more commercial black metal artists. That I will all to this day call Cradle of Filth a black metal band. To this day, I will still call Dimmu Borgir a black metal band, even though they aren't your typical black metal. They're not the true cult black metal kind of stuff. To me, black metal has become a genre that here in recent years has gotten more interesting because people are starting to add things to the genre, to the style, to their music that is making it a little less boring. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of true Norwegian black metal gets pretty fucking boring to me. I love the genre, not gonna lie. I love Mayhem, I love Burzum. I'm into it. I love Oranzi Pazuzu. I love that shit. But it can get a little boring for me. But certain artists today, I think the best thing to happen to black metal in ages is Zeal and Ardor, who are adding, old black hymnals to the style. And you still get that, you'll get the black metal stuff, and then it'll go into this stompy kind of chain gang kind of rhythm stuff. And I'm like, that's incredibly interesting. And they're saying, instead of talking about how much they hate God and how much they love Satan, they're speaking about more real shit. At least Zeal and Ardor is. Cradle of Filth like to keep it gothic, and they like to talk about their gothic romanticism or whatever.
More Lovecraftian.
Yeah, very Lovecraftian stuff, So, there's just so much happening in black metal. And this is a fairly new black metal. The first album came out about 5 years ago. And, I don't understand the language, but here's the funny thing, is like most black metal, I don't understand the lyrics. So with them singing in a different language, I don't fucking tell the difference. All I hear is, that's all I'm fucking hearing,
It's fucking Mortician.
Yes, I'm just hearing the rasp. But what really makes me interested with Batushka is when it gets into the sort of churchy kind of, the fucking monk chants. It almost sounds like praying in tongues, just and that's really cool to me. I really dig that.
And then you have the singing that's kind of hidden right behind it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like there's stuff that's really cool, but then David said a lot of it sounds the same, and it does. A lot of it does sound the same. To me, this is a great black metal band that isn't annoying, but also at the same time, it's a black metal band that you can just turn on in the background and do shit. Play a video game, clean up the house. It's good background black metal where it's not too loud, which is a thing about this group that I do like.
It's very atmospheric.
Very, very atmospheric. It's really all about the atmosphere. And it's just not loud at all. Everything's at like this perfect volume. Because if I listen to Cradle of Filth
very well, and it's not like it doesn't. All the notes and everything kind of hit. Like you were about to say, like Cradle of Filth are kind of punchy. Like they're
very punchy, very loud, really in your face. Same thing with Dimmu Borgir.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bands that I love that are like that, but yeah, some of them I gotta listen to Cradle of Filth. I can't turn them on in the background and do day-to-day shit. But this band I can. I can vacuum the floor and have some Batushka in the background. You know, talking about
Yeah.
but it's not loud. It's a very mid kind of.
They have the chorus on
song.
high.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, or reverb. Their reverb is really high. Their chorus is really high. And it really
Yeah.
just blends in the background. It's not bad, though. Like, when you do actually catch it and listen to it, it's cool. But again, like, there's only, like, what, 7, 8 songs on there.
Yeah, and that's another thing I do like.
It's just like every
it's-
song's pretty much.
Yeah, and I think the one that I think the one that's probably easier for like average metalheads to get into would be Hospodi, the one that's a little more commercial. But the other ones are fairly true black metal. I mean, it's just atmospheric. It's woods. It is dark church. You know, and I mean, but I like them all. I dig it. I mean, I like both sides of Batushka. Like I was mentioning, how they fucked him over, and now there's 2 Batushkas, and I like both. I know a lot of people hated on Hospodi because, oh, it's just not what the first album was, and I get it, but I don't mind commercial black metal either. And this, I mean, to me, it's not even the most commercial black metal. I can see how, with the riffs and the stuff being a little more catchy, things are a little more catchy on Hospodi. But then you get to this newest EP, and it sounds closer to that first album if you like the more atmospheric and the less catchy stuff that they do. And it's crazy, you know. We get these Patreon requests every once in a while, and for the most part, it's either an artist that we've listened to and we know, or it's an artist we've never heard of before. Like, I think the same guy, Andrew Morales, had requested Morphine, and I checked out Morphine. I'm like, man, that's a damn good band that I hate that I missed. And so with Batushka, another, to me, damn good band that I'm glad that I caught on to fairly early. And what is interesting is this copy of the first album that I actually have. I bought this on eBay for $10 about almost 2 months ago now. Is actually one that's worth a bit of cash because it's in an eco pack, and it is a gold disc. And it was limited to a certain amount of copies. And you look at the bottom there. The color is normally silver, but there's a gold tint to it. And so that was cool that I, you know, out of nowhere got the more rare copy. But I mean, if you order their second album from the band version, not the creator version, Hospodi, I believe, is all in gold. The copy of Hospodi I have is the gold copy, and there's the light stuck on there. But the second album that the creator did, he did gold copies too. But man, all those physical copies are out, and you're gonna spend a pretty fucking penny getting a hold of those. That's why I hate doing digital, but this is a band that I'm like, you know what? I like them enough that I will do digital, and I did it, and I dug it. And this one, I just found out, like, apparently you can only get this EP, you know, from their little website. Had to do it. They're just a cool fucking band, you know. And I know Josh hasn't heard them. They're a band I highly recommend checking out, because you and I like some black metal, Batushka is definitely up your alley. And now, David, what do you think about what you heard? You only heard that first album. I sat here and I explained a lot of bullshit with these three or technically four releases. What do you got to say about just what you have heard?
From what I've heard, like I said, it's very atmospheric. But I was doing this while I was cooking, so like you said, also you could do this while doing just simple tasks, whatever.
Yeah, it's good background.
And it didn't for me, the black metal that I was into younger was like Cradle Filth and the Behemoth and One Man's Child.
Wow, One Man's Child. Damn, dude, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
I love One Man's Child. They had probably the best, more progressive black metal than anything. But that's what I liked when I was younger. And nowadays, you know, if you're black metal, it's kind of like everything kind of just blends together because you have that straight one string and then you're moving a note or two here and there. Like, and then what really got me interested was the hymns, was the background really low, like almost throat singing.
Yeah, you get
But-
the cool monk chants.
And you get this thing, and then the guys scream, but it works so well with the it blended very well with the monk style hymns and everything that I didn't really dislike it at all. Like with Cradle, it's one of those things like you have to be in a kind of mood because they are so punchy. Like Danny Phil's fucking vocals are just right there in your face. You know, it's like a Broadway musical mixed with poetry, and it just kicks you right there. And then
yeah,
One Man's Child is just a good black metal band. They don't stand out really badly, but they've been around for so long, you just kind of dig them. And then like Behemoth or Demon Borgir. Demon Borgir started like when I first heard them. They were probably one of the first metal bands that actually used electronics more often than just like straight blast
yeah, they
beats.
did keyboard orchestras for a long time before
Right.
they started doing
So-
real orchestras.
I mean, if I had to put them in anywhere, I would say like Demon Borgir and Batushka they have the same kind of feel to it. Like you can play it in the background. They're kind of like chill. I wouldn't mind listening to a few songs here and there, but I'm not gonna be like turn it on the radio. Like if it's on shuffle, sure, it's cool. I'll have it play.
You're
through.
not like gonna be like today I'm gonna turn on Batushka.
Right, like there's not like a day where I'm just gonna wake up and be like, man, I really want to listen to Batushka. But if I hear him, I'm not gonna turn it off. It's good enough. Kind
Totally
of black
feel you.
metal.
Totally feel you.
So I would say as an album, I mean it's really a 6, but that's because it's just there. It doesn't do anything for me, but it doesn't embarrass the fact that it's there. It's just kind of it's a okay album for me. It's black metal in its purest point, but it's not fantastic.
Yeah, I really dig it. I mean, to me, it's like I think to me it's mostly the atmosphere and the monk stuff.
Yeah.
Because the rest of it's pretty standard black metal.
It's doom. It's like very dooming black metal.
Yeah, just standard old black metal. But I think the fact that they're using this ancient religious language to spew their gospel and the monk chants and the atmospheres, what really makes this band sort of stand out. But at the same time, there's a lot of conflict there and a lot of confusion, especially with the fact that there are 2 versions now. But to me, both versions are good. I like them both. I mean, but like I said, I'm not from Norway, so what the fuck do I know? I don't know shit about black metal. I just know that I enjoy what I view as black metal. I mean, people will tell you all the time, Cradle of Filth ain't black metal, but to me, yeah, they're fucking black metal. They're not as black metal as they were,
Right.
but it's still there. Same thing with Dimmu Borgir. they're not as black metal as, well, I would say that their newest album was pretty black metal. But but the last two, like, Avacadabra, whatever the fuck that was called, Abra, whatever, and, shit, the one before it, like, those were pretty commercial black metal all the way. Like, those were like Cradle of Filth style black metal. But, I mean, you know, bands that, I like Mayhem, but, man, it's the same. I like Burzum, but, man, it's very much the same. But there's a lot of interesting things happening in black metal today. Who knows if it's black metal or if they're just doing a different genre and taking black metal influences, hence Seal in Our Door, and even Igor. Like, Igor is black metal, but sometimes, you know, one song might have a black metal moment. But, I mean, you know, even take, you know, shit like Oranzi Pazuzu, psychedelic black metal. Like, Oranzi Pazuzu is like black metal by way of Goblin. And fucking, you know, there's just a lot of interesting stuff happening to black metal that I think has been... Black metal, to me, and I'm gonna lie, has been a pretty stagnant genre for about 20 years. And here in about maybe the past 5, roughly 7 to 10 years, has finally started growing. And, you know, that's something we need. Because I like to see a genre grow and then turn into something far away from what it began as. Like I said before on this channel many times, I'm a genre junkie. And we're living in a time today where things are moving beyond genre. Like, there's not even a genre anymore for what some people are doing. It's like, what are you doing? Whatever you're doing, it's cool, and keep on doing it. Hence, Igor. I mean, I could say, oh yeah, there's a black metal moment here. But there's also a classical moment, and a chanting moment, and a dubstep moment, and a new metal moment, and a beat moment, and a rap metal moment, and just a scream moment. You know, some artists nowadays, it's like they're taking from so many different spots where you can't help but call it anything but avant-garde, because, I mean, there's no word for it yet. But what would you rate that first? You said about a 6?
About 6.
I would give...
It's kind of a bland.
I would give that first one a 7. Because I kind of like the other ones a little more. You know, I do really like Ghost Modi. I'd recommend checking them out. You know, I mean, if you can listen to them for free, you know, check them out. You know, I went on a buying spree because I enjoyed that first one so much that I was like, I need to see what the rest of these guys are doing. And after hearing those, because at first, you know, when I only knew that first one a couple months ago, I was like, this is really good. You know, I was like, this is like 9 territory. But then when I heard Hospodi, and then the other second album, and then this new EP, I was like, you know, this can go down to a 7. And these other ones, maybe a little higher than that. There's a lot of growth in just a couple years, and I dig it. I really dig it. And I'm glad Andrew Morales has introduced us to this band we've never heard of before. And like we just said on the last podcast, send us some more Patreon requests. Check it out. This is Bloody Chuckle Studios on Patreon. There's some cool little rewards there. Check out our fucking SoundCloud. Listen to some of our music. Bloody Chuckle Studios. You need to make a little SoundCloud for your fucking songs, man, so we can pass that stuff. But check out David, man. Just check out David on YouTube. He's got his own YouTube doing Fallout builds. And Chaos and Fallout.
Yeah.
Chaos and Fallout, check that out.
Or Order and Chaos for Reverb Nation.
Yeah, Order and Chaos on Reverb Nation. I haven't fucked with reverb in about 7 years. I've been strictly SoundCloud for a while until I find something new. But yeah, check our shit out. Like and subscribe if you can. And we hope you have a good day. I need a cigarette and I gotta pee.
Peace.